Hi, Jessica here. Thanks for watching my videos. This is a video update from our IVF cycle, our second IVF cycle that we did. That one was in the middle of February, and just what the plan is moving forward. So with our second IVF cycle, just to recap, we did an increased dose of medications to see if more medications would help more follicles to grow, because our first IVF cycle we only had one big follicle, a medium one, and a bunch of little ones. So we only had one that was really retrievable, so we got canceled. So second round, we decided to up the medication, see if we can get more to grow. And my first cycle day one baseline appointment, I had an ultrasound and I had blood work done, and the ultrasound showed 3 follicles, which isn't great, but more could show up. And then I also had a cyst, which was a leftover follicle from my previous cycle, and the doctor said that for us to continue with that cycle, that I needed to have my cyst aspirated, so she needed to get the fluid out of the cyst. And so I did that on day 3 before, actually did that on day 3 before I started the medications, because I started meds on day 4. And I would say, please don't do this procedure unless they give you narcotics, because she told me, oh, just take 2 Tylenol and we'll do a little local anesthetic and it should be tolerable. No, it was 10 out of 10 pain. I took my 2 Tylenol an hour before and I got there, she did the local anesthetic. I was expecting it. She said it would be like a bee sting. I've been stung by a bee before. Yes, the bee sting, I'm not great with pain. I would say a bee sting is still like 7 out of 10 pain. But no, this was 10 out of 10 pain, and I screamed. Like, when she poked my ovary, I screamed, and I'm sure the whole office heard me. It was really embarrassing, and it was just not fun. So if you ever have to have an ovarian cyst aspirated, not under general anesthesia, ask for narcotics, FYI. So I did that. Started my meds, went in for my baseline ultrasound. They didn't see, nothing had grown that much. At my second ultrasound, it was on day 4 or 5 of my cycle after being on meds for about 3 days. And then I went in on day 7 of my cycle, which means I had been on meds for about 5 days. 4 days, 5 days, I don't know. It was all a blur, but so I went in and I had 1 big one and 3 little ones. So when the ultrasound tech told me that, I had a feeling this cycle might get canceled, but I was hoping that maybe there was something else that she could do. But she called me later that day and said, well, we could harvest the 1 egg if you wanted to, but harvesting 1 egg at a time is really low odds for success. And so just financially, we'd be better off just canceling it. So it was a really, really hard decision. I really wanted to do an egg retrieval even with 1 egg, but we only had limited funding from the loan that we got. So I said, well, I asked her, if we cancel the cycle, you know, is there something else we can do for a 3rd try? And she was actually kind of pessimistic. She said that, you know, with 2 cycles and only growing 1 follicle, that means I am now classified as a poor responder, which means that my ovaries don't respond well to these medications. So throwing more medications at them isn't going to do anything. And, you know, in the IVF world, it's all about high levels of medications and getting lots and lots of follicles, and it wasn't doing it for me. So I was really upset. You know, I triggered so that I would ovulate. You know, she said we could try naturally, but my husband and I are hesitant to do that because I tested positive as a carrier for Fragile X, which is a genetic disorder. And so, meaning that our children, I think there's about like a, I don't know, 25 to 50% chance that we would pass it, just the carrier status on. And then there's a chance that it could turn into this disorder, which causes brain malformation and can cause mental health disorders because of it. So we decided not to, and just, you know, I triggered and just ovulated and just let the cycle go. And so we kind of, Matt and I decided to just kind of regroup and then see where we're at. And, you know, we talked about all our options. And so I really felt like I wanted to get some second opinions on my situation, because someone with diminished ovarian reserve, who's also a poor responder to medications, has a really low success rate with traditional IVF. And so I wanted to see if there were any other suggestions from other doctors where they've done maybe other things with patients in my situation that may have helped them be more successful. Because technically at my age, at 33, and crap, I'll be turning 34 in a month, that my eggs should be good quality. So as long as I'm under 35, we should be able to get good quality and have a higher chance of having a healthy embryo, even with fewer eggs. But, you know, you still need to have a certain amount of eggs to harvest with traditional IVF. Otherwise, just with the whole process, you know, the egg retrieval and the embryo creation and all that, sometimes eggs and embryos die off. So when you start out with more, you have a higher chance of having one at the end. So I was discouraged, and so I was just looking up random doctors online, looking at their statistics all over the US, trying to figure out, is there somebody out there that has good success rates with people that in my specific situation. And so I chose to consult with another local doctor here. And so I have that consultation coming up. I'm going to regroup with my current doctor and see what she has to say as well. And then I also had a consultation, I already had it, with a doctor in LA who supposedly helps people like me with diminished ovarian reserve and who are poor responders to medication by doing natural IVF and minimal stimulation IVF. And that sounds really appealing to me. It's just all the way in LA, and it's a new doctor, so it's kind of scary. I don't know how it's going to be. I can't really go there and check out the clinic and see the people, meet the people in person right now, because I'm in Colorado. And so they do offer where you can do like monitoring in your own state, and then you can go there for the egg retrieval and for the embryo transfer. Hopefully make it that far. But yeah, so we're considering all the options, but unfortunately we have maxed out our loan, and so we are currently trying to fundraise for the funds to be able to continue, because I haven't even gotten to an egg retrieval yet. We haven't gotten to embryo creation yet. Like, we don't even know if IVF will work for us or not at this point, because we haven't even gotten to the point where we can try the actual IVF part where they're creating the embryo in the lab, because they haven't been able to grow my eggs. So my husband and I feel like we need to be able to at least try to grow an embryo in a lab. So we need to get to an egg retrieval with somebody and then see if we can create an embryo. We need to do that at least once for us to feel like, okay, we exhausted all our efforts in this area before moving on to plan B or plan C. And plan B which we haven't decided if we want to do. It would be an egg donor, and then plan C, which we're totally fine with and have already talked about, which is adoption. But we really want to make sure that we have fully tried to have our own biological child with my eggs before we move on to that. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm skipping the month of March and not doing a cycle in March, letting my body kind of rest and recuperate from all that it's been through the last 2 months. And you know, and since we're out of money anyways, we can't really do a cycle right now anyways, but I wanted to take a month off, but we're hoping to be able to start another cycle with somebody starting April 1st. So depending, I mean, no matter who we go with, we still will need funds. We need about $25,000 to be able to do a whole nother round of, like, which would cover an egg retrieval and then an embryo transfer, if we could get that far, hopefully. Possibly medications again. So $25,000 is about what it costs for one round. So unfortunately, we don't have $25,000 in cash, and our loan is maxed out. So if you would like to donate, I've linked my GoFundMe underneath. You can also message in the comments if you don't have my phone number, or you want my Facebook or Venmo. You can donate those ways as well. But we would really appreciate it, because I really want to be a mother, and I just would love to have my own child, my biological child. I feel like at my age, I should be able to achieve that. And it would really suck if the only reason I couldn't achieve a biological child was because of financial reasons. So if we could get friends and family to help us with the financial part, then we could have our best chance at success. So that's our story, that's our update. Hoping to start another cycle in April, but I'll do another update before then to kind of let you know what we've decided to do moving forward. So thank you. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and you can catch all our update videos and all our IVF madness. And hopefully someday I'll be able to announce I'm pregnant on here. Hoping. So anyways, take care and God bless.